I was thinking? It was like crazy how we've known each other for over 5 years.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That is insane.
So for those that don't know, this is Dr. Alex Otto. Yes. And her wonderful husband, Tim Otto.
Not sarcastic at all.
All right. There was a little bit of stank on that, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, legit, you guys are like in the top 10 my favorite people. It would be top 5, but I got to include Tim, so top 10, you know? But yeah, it's funny how I met you guys, like literally when the whole world was shutting down.
Yep.
And I met you because I was looking for a new pediatric dentist for my motley crew of 3. Yes. And I came in and you guys were a breath of fresh air, and your beautiful office right there in downtown Buda, well, just down the street from downtown Buda, which is a prime location next to ice cream and donuts.
Sugar Row, yeah.
Bahama Bugs, Shipley's, all the things. Yeah.
I'm like, you guys hit like gold mine real estate right there.
This is it, yeah.
Yeah, so I met you during that, and then I was like, you guys are really cool people. You're kind of stuck with me. Like, you inherited my kids, but you then got grandfathered Chad and I, so it's like a package deal. Yep. So, but how has business been?
Yeah, everything's been great. I know it is crazy that we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary this year in Buda, which is, I mean, we started building in literally the middle of COVID, opened in September of 2020, and I think you were literally the first like couple weeks that we opened that you guys came in, and you walked through the door. I was like, we're gonna be friends.
Crazy, you know.
I know, like just even the kids, like it's just so great. Like they've grown so much, you know. Just it's insane to see, and that's what I mean. Honestly, one of our favorite things about the practice is being able to see like our friends and neighbors' kids grow and like how much they've all changed in 5 years. And it's funny, like some of our first patients that have come through the doors, like seeing the first picture we ever took of them, and some of them are babies, and now they're like in elementary school.
Oh yeah,
and
Liam's almost taller than me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He outweighs me too.
Yeah. He can definitely tackle you down.
100%. And this is now the third experience with you guys. Well, you and I and mics and cameras, because we did the video first to introduce your business.
Yes, exactly. The first podcast and the Buda office in 2020, I think.
Yes, and then the commercial that I and the kids were in, where I looked like a single mom.
Where were you at before that?
I was at Hay City Store at Margaritas.
Before our commercial for the we did 2 of those, because one of them we just started posting again. It's like, if you haven't seen yourself on Instagram, I was like, oh, Ashley's on our Instagram page again. Because you did the South Austin one too for us.
Yes, I did the South Austin one too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, and then here we are.
Yep, and now we're back again.
And we got Tim actually
we got
in
Tim this time. I know, but no, it's 5 years is just crazy. But everything's been so good. We opened Buda in 2020. We bought an existing practice in South Austin area in 2021 and converted it to a kids' 2 team, and then we did the Kyle office from scratch in 2022,
which is a great location too.
Right there. It's like
beautiful.
Like
Great project for sure.
So
and that little complex is expanding.
They're about to like build out in front of it, and I think all of the spots are filled right in the whole Coolers Crossing area.
They just opened like a spicy. What is it? Like a spicy.
The spicy chicken wing place. Yeah, have you had it or not?
No, I have not.
I haven't either.
I'm a foodie, but I'm trying to watch when I eat. The whole thing.
So chicken wings aren't on there.
Apparently, fat is bad for you.
Exactly. No, I went to the doctor and she's like, "You're fine. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Says you."
Are you sure? Take a blood test.
I went to the doctor and he said your blood pressure's too high. And this is like right after we bought a full half side of Wagyu beef. And he was like, but you're like young and healthy. He's like,
your cholesterol was too
high.
Oh, your lipid level.
Your blood pressure is also probably too high.
And he's like, what? Like, I don't get it. What's your diet? I was like, oh, normal stuff. He's like, do you eat a lot of red meat? And I was like, well, define a lot. And he's like, how much do you eat? And I was like, oh, but 3 to 4 pounds a week. Yeah. He goes, you can't do that. Yeah. So here I am.
How about some broccoli?
No. He will only eat vegetables if they're like hidden in shepherd's pie or something. And you're just like literally, he drinks like the green yucky drink in the morning.
I just drink the vegetables.
Yeah, drink this. I don't think it's the same thing.
Plugs his nose, bottom up.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So on top of the businesses, the offices you have, then you got this like office on wheels.
Got our outreach program, which that's probably the thing we're most proud of. And so it's St. Davis Foundation donated us one of their dental vans in 2021, and we like rebranded it, and it was basically it's like our nonprofit organization called Kids Through Team Outreach. So we go to underserved schools in the community, and so we do like Dale, Lockhart, Elgin, What other Luling?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
It's
so
actually out at Luling today.
Today,
as a
yeah.
matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just partner with elementary schools in need areas to get kids the dental care that they need, because a lot of these kids, like, even if they have Medicaid or insurance, like, their parents can't take the day off work to get them to the dentist, and some of them have never been to the dentist, like literally don't even own a toothbrush. So we get directly to them, and we just surpassed the $500,000 of free dental care donated. So we've donated almost $600,000.
It's over $600,000.
Over $600,000 now of free dental care
crazy.
since 2021.
Yeah.
And it's just like really incredible. Like, have a lot of dentists in our community. Like, Buda dental professionals. They, their doctors come.
Erica Ryan.
Yeah, Dr. Erica Ryan at Buda Dental. So like
Moser,
some really,
I think, was on.
yeah,
Moser,
Dr. Moser
yep.
came.
Not dentist.
Yes, exactly. And like Smile Crew, Kyle Ortho, like all of them either donate their time or resources. So we've had just like an outpouring of the community, like helping and participating.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to have like those volunteers that care about the kids in our community coming and helping. And then our dental assistants are on the van. We get the supplies donated, and then
That's
go to
really
these schools.
cool.
And these kids, like, it's not just little cavities. Like, they have facial swellings, and they have abscesses, and they haven't been able to sleep.
Miserable.
They can't eat.
Yeah.
They literally can't chew.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have
If
never
I
had their
couldn't
own
eat, my
toothbrush.
life would be over.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
I asked them, I was like, has this tooth been hurting you? And they'll tell me yes. I'm like, do you want me to help take it out? These kids are wanting me to take their tooth out. It hurts so bad. And just kids they can't explain to their parents like that they're feeling uncomfortable, or it's just they're normal, so they don't know how to express it. And so
and sometimes parents even confuse like a toothache with like an ear infection or something, because it's all so close related and everything.
And it's like your mouth is so dark. Even if parents look in there, they don't know what they're looking at, and it's hard to and so especially these older kids who parents assume can brush on their own or do these things, and they don't know. And it's like no blame whatsoever, but it's like nice to get to these kids who need us and like provide the care that they need and help them feel better. And so it's been really fun to see that grow. And we partner with the Texas Pre-Dental Society at UT Austin.
Okay.
So we've developed like a leadership program with them so that college students can come on the van and like get volunteer hours and learn about public health dentistry and pediatric dentistry. And they help us kind of like manage the kids on the van and entertain them. And so it's just been really cool to like see it grow and see where it's going to go. I think we've got lots of ideas of what we want it to be.
Speaking of people coming on, I think when Aiden was in there with you last, you had some, I don't know if they were dental hygienists or something, that were coming in and shadowing and stuff.
Yeah, we have. So I have a lot of residents that will come like from all across the country, honestly, and come shadow us, like how we operate and do things. And there's services that we provide in our office that a lot of other offices don't.
Yeah.
And so they'll come and shadow me. I'm also the incoming president of the Texas Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, and so a lot of the residents just kind of know me from that, and so they'll ask like, can I come see your private practice and shadow? So it's cool to have them come in and see what like a nice beautiful, well-run practice looks like, and they get ideas of what they want to have their practice look like one day too, which is pretty cool.
And then you have the Michigan
Yes.
office.
Yeah,
That logo's
I know.
so cute. I love that logo. I love your
got
guys'
the
logo
little
here.
fisherman logo.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's so
absolutely.
cute.
I know, yeah, that's so my best friend from residency just wanted to start a practice, but as dentists we just don't really like have the business experience.
Yes.
So, like, what does it take to like financially run a practice? Like, how do you find a good location? How do you hire and fire team members, like all the HR stuff,
The
everything that's
marketing
involved.
and advertising and all of that.
It's like it's a business too. So it's like how to run that is overwhelming to a lot of people, on top of also being a clinician, seeing patients all day long.
Yeah.
Just like seeing patients and finishing
Dealing with
your
insurance.
notes. Yeah, exactly. That's not stuff we're like, we know how to do. And so she approached us because she's like, I want to do this. I love what you guys are doing. She practices the exact same way that I do. And so we're like, hey, let's partner with you. Let's do something in Michigan together, be able to deliver this same quality and standard of care to the kids in your community.
Especially in rural areas.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
need so much.
Because people are literally like hog tying kids, papoosing them down because they don't have sedation options up there. So they're literally, kids are screaming and they're just getting the work done. And then we come up with our model where it's, you don't have to be screaming, and the kids don't have to remember every single
hard experience.
drill.
Like,
exactly.
Yes, well, and in there it could be an overwhelming feeling and overstimulating with the sounds and everything and a sterile environment.
Exactly.
So.
When it's a lot, it's just a lot to expect kids to tolerate
To
that,
sit
and
still.
even to sit still and tolerate things that are hard. And there's lots of things that we can do to help them with that. But at a certain point, it's like we're never gonna like force a kid through something. It's like they remember that, and we want them to like not be fearful about going to the dentist their whole life. And so it was really cool to start that practice with her, and hers grew so fast. We're starting a second one with her this year.
That's
so there'll be another one up there, and then we're actually starting a North Austin practice this year too. So it'll be
Good
like
gravy.
really, it'll be really.
Are you have all the time?
no time. There's
No
yeah,
time,
we
yeah.
just
Well,
don't
and
sleep.
then Are you the one behind? Was it Alcan?
Alcan.
Alcan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
is that
Alcan.
you behind
It's
it?
us.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
us. It's I mean, and it kind of stemmed from the same thing where, obviously we're kind of the perfect combination because she's got the very well known pediatric dentist in North America, and I've got degrees in finance and management, international MBA. Ran my own companies, ran divisions for several larger companies in the U.S. and actually globally as well. And so we kind of combined, we had this really, peanut butter and chocolate type combination where she, I could rely on her completely to handle all aspects of the clinical side of dentistry. And then I could run the entire business side of the dental practice. And that's a really rare combination to have. You don't find that. Typically, you'll see like husband and wife dentists that start the practice, right? Well, that's it's conflicting skill sets, right? Like we have no crossover whatsoever in what we do. Like she doesn't know where we bank, and I don't know. I think there's 78 teeth in a kid's mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that 79? It's somewhere around there. I know it's a lot.
He's like not allowed to go into the clinical areas anymore. He's like,
But yeah, so really, it's friends started coming to us and like, hey, can you help us? And we're like, man, we're busy doing our own thing, right? And they kept asking like, hey, there's got to be a way that we can, do something together. And so out of that, kind of this idea of this management company was born. It's a common setup, but the way that we have structured it, typically there's a lot of private equity in dentistry right now. So you have capitalists like myself that aren't married to a clinician who cares. And we'll go in and we'll buy up 15 or 20 practices, roll them up, and then sell them to the next big investor.
Right.
And that cycle repeats itself. And at the end of the day, you have terrible patient care, you have doctors that aren't happy, and you have communities that aren't cared for. Totally, and that's not what we wanted to do. So we said, if we can do this in a way that allows the doctors to keep their equity and keep their quality of care and do what they do best, which is practice the trade that they love, and they have the support of world-class systems, world-class organization, and then of course the buying power that a larger organization brings with it, brings to bear. And it's been really successful. So I think we'll be 16 locations by the end of the year and continuing to grow and even looking at expanding internationally. So
I know you touched base about that because you were going back and forth to
London.
UK and stuff. And which when I learned that they really don't have a lot of dental care there.
They don't no pediatric dentists basically, but they started. Other thing we're doing is this like education platform that Tim and one of our best friends who's an adult education theory expert have been developing. I'll let you speak to that, but that's like a whole nother kind of like side thing that we're doing that we started
the eighth side
in addition to the eighth side, but it's like all this like stuff like
there's 24 hours in a day.
No, we're just like there's not. There's not. No.
When do you sleep?
Barely.
What is this thing you speak of?
You got two little kids.
2 kids under 2.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yes, your kids are adorable.
Oh my
adorable.
Gosh, I cannot believe. Max is 2.5. Adeline's 13 months now.
Oh my
and
gosh,
they're
so cute. Max is a carbon copy of you. He's like 2.0.
Oh, he is just a tornado.
Yes.
It's just crazy. I still remember, and you guys came over, which was super sweet, and brought us dinner.
Yeah.
And who was it? Liam?
Yes.
That held Adeline. I think he was like the first person to hold Adeline outside of us.
I know.
Yes.
I was not panicking at all.
Yes. No.
We look over and he's like, here you go. And we're like,
yeah.
He was so comfortable.
Yeah, he loves baby. He's like, she's so cute. Look at her. And Aiden could care less.
Aiden was like, not
he's obsessed with the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can have our dogs.
Which is no, you're not giving up your dogs. You're so cute. But Aiden, it was so funny because Chad talked me into the third child.
Yes,
and so when Aiden got to about 2, he's like, what do you think about a 4th? I was like, you've lost your effing mind. He's like, well, let's just see how the kids feel about it. So Liam's like, yes. Avery's like, I would love a little sister. Aiden's like, absolutely not.
Yes, I will not participate in this experiment.
So that was the tiebreaker.
Yes. So even to this day, when he sees a baby crying, he looks like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
He does not relate. But Max is you 2.0. Like I remember when we went over there to deliver dinner and he like somersaulted out of the 3-wheeler and he's trying to get the keys to the 3-wheeler to
he knows how to turn the 3-wheeler on now.
Yes.
This is good. Yes.
Which is a funny story with you guys when you went to buy your house and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for the roofer to come. And I texted him. I was like, are you joining? He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. And so they had this road, and when we toured, I was like, you might want to like have that fenced off so like nobody can enter your property. So I'm sitting there and I see this ATV coming, and I was like, I'm actually witnessing someone kind of on the property. Nope, it's him coming out like a bat out of hell on a three-wheeler. And I was like, what are you doing?
Probably with a jean jacket on.
Yes. And I was like, and so then he goes,
pack of smokes rolled
yeah,
up.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, you joke. But,
it goes time to leave, and he goes, yeah, that was kind of sketch. I'm going to go this way. And I was like, what?
A little bit rougher than I had anticipated, but yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, Max is, you better put on a helmet because he's 2.0.
His F1 career has already been like determined by him.
So it's preordained.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I forgot that you have the racing.
Yeah, the racing
race
stuff
car.
too.
Yeah, that's in
collecting
mothballs in the
dust.
back 40 because
Yeah.
you know 2 kids and a lot of businesses apparently are detrimental to your racing career. So, so yeah, I do. It was pretty much the choose me or choose your race car conversation. I was like, I'm gonna choose.
Yeah,
that. It's a good choice.
She's really cute.
Yeah, exactly. Someday
next
I'll be
year,
back.
maybe next year, and then the following year you want to get Max into like what is the
Karting.
Karting?
Yep.
Oh
for
yeah,
kids.
that'd be perfect. You can just live
it's like
vicariously
Family
through.
thing and
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any plans for a third?
We're 99% sure that's a
99.99.
99.1% sure.
I'll put pressure on you in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta join the 3-ring circus. It's a good time.
I know.
As soon as you get outnumbered, though, and like all of our friends, the Watt Family Circus, like it is,
a
and
circus,
that's exactly what it is. It's
You
a
just
circus.
lower your standards and expectations. That's all it is.
We already have. You can get any lower.
You're fine. Everything's fine. I don't know.
Do they just eat something they're not supposed to? Oh, they're gonna live.
I know exactly. Well, that's the going from 1 to 2 kids. That was totally the same.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
They're just like, oh, you're okay. It's like you're not gonna
so
spontaneously die for no reason.
I tell this story to people like when I had Liam, I was a first-time mom, so I was like, I gotta have the boogie wipes, the butt wipes, the diaper wipes, every kind of wipe you can get. Avery, it was like boogie wipes, butt wipes. Ada's like, I think I have a wipe somewhere.
Here's a paper towel.
Here's an oily rag that I found in the
I
garage.
got a napkin from the drive-thru somewhere.
No. As I was leaving our house tonight, Adeline just like put some dog food in her mouth, and I was like, I'm just gonna
It builds
go.
immunity.
Yeah, it's
does.
Yeah, I actually convinced my I convinced my brother that dog food was vitamins, so I had him like just scooping them up, eating them. Now he's like, has a great career doing drones, so I take credit for that. So.
She doesn't hate them. She continues to eat them, so I assume like they must not taste that bad.
Yeah. She's getting some sort of fiber in there and stuff too.
Right.
Yeah, she is. But no.
We've had high-end dog food, so it's got to be good.
Yeah. Not full of
protein
all
and
the
stuff.
grains and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even that's so funny. Like Max will eat like 3 blueberries in 4 days, and that's the only thing he will eat for a week. It's
were
like
your kids heavy eaters?
yeah. Then Adeline,
Not when they were little.
Yeah.
No. Now I swear, Liam and Aiden, it's like first breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast, then we're gonna have a brunch, then we're gonna have lunch, and then it's gonna be dinner, and then it's like
well, that's what happens when you homeschool.
Oh,
The kitchen's right there.
That's true.
Not only that, and they're like making like 5-course meals and stuff, but it's like. And it's like I said, Liam now outweighs me. He's taller than me. Avery's not far behind. And then Aiden, he's like a little tank. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Wait till they're like proper teenagers.
Oh.
Like you'll be going
Liam's
through
voice is cracking already
10
and stuff.
gallons of milk a week.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like-
we go through 3 gallons of milk.
It's crazy.
Or like,
Yes.
but
And
still,
Liam he goes to Crunch Fitness with Chad. So he'll eat before, and then he gets out of the gym, and he's like, Dad, I'm hungry. I'm like, where do you put it?
Just furnaces.
Where do you
Just
put
pure
it?
Furnaces.
Yes. So when he was little, he was extremely picky eater.
Yep.
If it had a color, he wasn't eating it. It was like those those pouches I was constantly giving him and stuff. And then everything was chicken. Avery was cracking up at him the other day because he was eating scrambled eggs, and she was like, I'm kind of shocked you're eating scrambled eggs. And he's like, why? She's like, your diet consists of chicken. She's like, it's chicken nuggets, it's chicken ramen, chicken strips, chicken burgers, And he's like, where do you think the eggs came from? Yeah. And Avery's just like,
It's got a point.
oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I guess this is technically chicken. Yeah.
So it does. I say their palate expands and stuff. Like Aiden will eat anything. He's the garbage disposal.
Yep.
So it does get better.
Yep.
So.
No, that's what Adeline is a garbage disposal though. Like
Oh,
it's
she
like funny to have
crushes
one
it.
kid. She'll eat literally more breakfast than I will.
Yeah.
You were 13 months old. You ate 2 eggs, 2 pancakes.
That was
like,
Avery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just crazy. Maybe the girls are just.
Yep. Yeah. So they'll expand their palate. So then you could go to like the fancy restaurants and eat. Like my kids love calamari. They love to go to Mudbugs and eat the calamari. Yep. And I'm like...
See, that's not good because it just costs more.
I know! I know!
Take him to, like, a country buffet.
Yes!
Tell him go to town, right?
Well, and it's funny now, like, we go somewhere, they're like, can I have a steak? I'm like,
no, you can't. Are you kidding me?
Where's the kids' menu, you know?
Have a bite of my steak.
Yeah, so the palate expands, but so does the bills.
Yes, that I did not think about that part of it. So, we'll stick with our blueberries. Yeah.
I have to say, you recently became famous.
Not the Texas, that was pretty cool. It was a cool experience to, so I testified on the Senate floor a couple weeks ago. There's an anesthesia bill out right now that affects dentistry. So basically, dental insurance pays for your dental treatment, but if children need to be asleep for their dental work, so, you know, a child who's 3 years old and has literally 20 cavities, which I know sounds maybe crazy to some people, but that's something like every single day. It's like I see this every single week in my office. You know, or a child with special needs, a child with autism that it's hard for them to brush their teeth at home or in the office, much less like get a tooth taken out. Like that is a very hard, difficult, thing for them. So there's kids who it's medically necessary for them to have anesthesia to do their dental treatment. They have to be asleep, to be comfortable, to be safe, for us to do a good job. And things that are going to last for them. And so there's a disconnect right now because dental insurance will pay for the dental, but dental insurance doesn't pay for the anesthesia in most
insurance
cases.
Is a scam.
And so it's just
really
so it's like it's just crazy. And so really most states, 34 states already have legislation in place where their medical insurance should pay for that procedure because it's medically necessary. So even though it's a dental procedure, it's still a medically necessary procedure that they need to have. But right now they don't. And so I have a kid, I go to Dell Children's once a month to treat really medically complex kids. And I had a kid who was waiting for heart surgery. Her cardiologist said, I need her dental work to be done before her heart surgery because if you have all these infections in your mouth, it affects your body, it affects your heart. And so like the success of the heart surgery will be reduced if her dental work doesn't get done because all this bacteria is infecting her whole body. So her cardiologist said this. I know she needs this. Her medical insurance would still not pay for the anesthesia.
That's insane.
And so there's just like, they said, oh, well, you're out of network because you're a dentist and like we're not paying for this. And so this kid, like they either have to wait for their heart surgery or they move forward with the surgery and then they risk like the surgery failing because they don't have it done. And so it's just like, it's really frustrating. It's not what's best for these kids. And it's, this is the care that they need and their medical insurance should pay for this. And so anyway, the Texas Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, the Texas Dental Association supported this legislation to move this forward. So I went to testify and, basically shared some of my stories that I've had with my patients. And so it passed in the health committee in the Senate, and then it passed in the full Senate last week too. And so now I'm actually going back on Wednesday and I'm going to testify for the House. And so then it's going to be in the House committee and then it'll be presented to the whole House. And then obviously if it passes everywhere and the governor passes it, then we'll be able to put this into law. And so, we're super excited that it's like been going really well. And it was just a really cool experience to be on the Senate floor. And sometimes these are in like really little rooms in the, in the Capitol, but this was like in the huge Senate room. And so like, just like incredible to like sit there.
On C-SPAN?
Exactly. Exactly. No, I don't think they can. C-SPAN, not as good. And this is Dr. Jerem. He's one of our anesthesiologists, and he's incredible. And so he's one of our providers that provides anesthesia for our kids in our offices. He and his team are incredible and just the safest, like best team that there is. So I feel grateful that he was able to come testify too and just like further explain the safety of like the anesthesia providers that we have.
I just saw this thing. And it talked about like the 10 highest paid jobs in the U.S. and anesthesiologist is number 2.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's It's
definitely not dentist.
It's definitely not dentist or dental anesthesiologist or
it was like surgeons was like I don't know number 6 or something like that. But
and it's funny you say that because then I saw like other posts saying like, oh, they shouldn't get paid that much. Like really, you want the person putting you to sleep and keeping you alive for your surgery?
I want them paid the world.
Yeah, they should be paid the most. Yeah, like
kind
this
of important.
It's kind of important. Like you
and
want
I don't
the
want to feel a
safest.
thing either.
Yeah,
and it's like or like when people price shop for like the anesthesia, it's like okay, you want the least expensive person to put you to sleep. Yeah. Okay. It's like, okay, well, like maybe, you get what you pay for, I guess. But like,
I mean, 9 times out of 10, it works out fine.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Nobody wants the brain surgeon that graduated last in the class.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Doctor. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's like our team, 100% safety record. Like they're just the safest protocols in place.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's who you want. The people who like care the most, have the strictest safety precautions.
Yes.
And I'm on the National Safety Committee for the whole Academy of Pediatric Dentistry because like they see what we're doing in our offices. They see how seriously we take safety. We're not going to sedate any kid or put any kid to sleep. Like it's got to be like the right parameters, and we have to make sure that kids are safe and taken well care of. And so like they take what we do at Kids Tooth team and share this nationally because we have like the best practices in our office, and so it's cool to be able to share that with other people.
And that is what's wild too, because I swear Facebook is just awful.
Yes.
And I'll see people like comment like, "This is what this dentist wanted to charge me for this," and I'm like, paint the whole backstory.
Yes.
Like, it's probably because this is what's going to cost to make it comfortable for your kid. This is what's going to cost, to have the x-rays done and everything. Like, at the end of the day, it's your kid. Like, you're going to try and do something to make it the least, impacting experience on them, because they're going to want to go to the dentist for the rest of their life. Like, and especially when they're such young, impressionable little things, like one bad, horrible experience at the dentist could change everything. So,
and you want them to be safe. You want the dentist to be able to do a good job, because if you're like having to rush through things or just like not do a great job, then you're just gonna have to like touch it up or fix it, or things aren't gonna work. And it's heartbreaking and frustrating with working with insurance companies, because it's like, this is the care I know my patient needs, and I feel like parents deserve to know like this is the best option out there. Like, this is what I really feel like is gonna keep your child safe, for us to do a good job, have beautiful dental work in there that's gonna last a really long time. And there's always like other ways we can do things. They just might not be as might not be the best long-term solution. But we're always, like that's, something that it's hard, because it's like we're an extension of the insurance companies in some ways, because we have to tell you like this is what they're going to cover and not cover. But it's one of those things, like I think parents deserve to know like what the best options are, and then make the decision that's best for them. So it's there's like never pressure or expectations, but it's like, here are your options. You deserve to know what's best for you and your family, and we're always willing to like help them figure that out and work with them on what's best for them.
Insurance.
There's a silver lining in that too, though, and we always, very rare when we get a 1-star review, but we get them, right? I mean, it's we have
we're
Karen.
We're parents and
Susan.
It's easy to dismiss them as such, but at the same time, like I remember taking Max to the ER for the first time, and it was the most like anxiety laden experience of my entire life, like truly, bar none. And so I got a taste of like what that must feel like for the parents, and so. We always say there's a kernel of truth in any complaint, right? And that always forces us to look inside and say, what can we do better? What can we do differently? And one of the things that came out of that is AI radiography. So now this is an FDA-cleared use of this technology, where every single, essentially, dental insurance company is using it. Most of the large dental practices are using it, and it's really changed the game, because now it's not just one doctor's word against another, right? This is AI radiography telling us, hey, this is a condition that's there, right? And that's something that we invested in for our practices as a result of that, going, are we doing the right thing? How do we make sure objectively that we're doing the right thing? Not just asking our cohort of dentists, but also accessing a gold mine of information.
Millions of data points.
Exactly. So we implemented that in the practice, and I think that's been a really positive change to show, this is not just us saying that this is needed, right? Because as a parent, I don't know who to trust. If I go see one dentist and I go see another dentist, and they both tell me 2 different things. And the dental industry, this is kind of like inside information, but the joke with us is if you go to 5 dentists, you get 6 different treatment plans. And that's always bothered me as a business guy. Like, for me, standardization is everything. That's what I desire. And in dentistry, it's so hard to find. So this AI tool came along, and it allowed us to go, okay, here's the gold standard. Here's just objectively what no dentist can argue with. This is just what is needed. Now, that empowers the doctor to decide how to best implement that treatment plan, and how to go about doing it the most safest way possible, the most comfortable as possible, and kind of take out that subjectivity that existed in the industry for the past 200 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is cool. AI being used positively.
Yeah, exactly. And in a way that, and it's still like the doctor still has to review it and look at it. But it's a second set of eyes that's completely objective.
Unbiased.
Unbiased. And the robots don't care if there's a cavity or not. They're just telling you what it's seen based on, millions of data points. And so it's really nice to be able to show parents, like, I'm seeing this, but also, like, the robots and AI, they're also seeing this. And so, like, here's, like, not just proof of like what I see, but everything. And so, so it's nice to be able to have parents have that reassurance of like, okay, what they're seeing is accurate and they're providing solutions to it. Because the sad reality is, like, I think, there's potentially dentists that see these cavities and they're afraid of like having a difficult conversation with a parent, or like the expectations. Parents, sometimes we have no idea that cavities are there until we take x-rays, because there's lots of cavities that you don't see just by looking in a kid's mouth. You literally only see them with x-rays. And so if a kid has never had x-rays, or they weren't able to tolerate them in the past, and we get x-rays for the first time, it is like, can be surprising to parents that they find out that their kid has cavities. And so, but we feel like it's our job to tell them the truth, right? Like, here's what's going on. Here's some solutions. Like, let's figure out a way to do this together that feels right for you and your family. And so that's just like our philosophy of care. It's like, we're going to be honest. We're going to tell you the truth. We're going to figure it out together. Right. And, for most parents, I think they're really appreciative that we're honest. And to Tim's point of our experience of Max maybe needing an x-ray, we went to one place and they're like, well, I guess maybe he could have an x-ray, but I don't know, whatever you want. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this?
What do you mean, whatever I want?
This is why you brought this to you.
Exactly.
Yes,
We were like afraid to say, because all we did was ask, was like, well, why does he need an x-ray? Like, explain more about that, which parents, I want to know, like, I don't want to take unnecessary x-rays or like do unnecessary treatment. Like, no one wants that. So like, hey, can you explain why he needs an x-ray, or like what we need to look out for? And they're like, okay, well, if you don't want an x-ray, then you don't have to. I was like, well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm just asking,
is something
why.
broken?
Yeah, exactly. Tell me.
Exactly.
So,
you're the doctor.
Well, exactly. But then we went to Dell Children's the next day, and he's like, no, you need an x-ray. It's the only way we're going to be able to see things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like,
that's why they are the best.
Exactly.
Totally.
Like, just tell me. Like, that's what I think parents are relying on us, and like other specialists. Like, you're the specialist. You know what's best. Like,
you're the expert.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I appreciate, but it also, it's like your baby and your kid, and like, I also want you to feel 100% comfortable with what we're doing. And so, I appreciate when parents share their concerns or like ask questions so that we can address them and talk about them together, because it's really hard when parents don't say they have questions, or, and then just maybe go get a second opinion somewhere else, which they're like 100% entitled to do. But like, hey, talk to me, tell me that you're worried, or tell me what your concerns are, so we can like talk about that together and work through it, because I feel like, we deserve that, and like everyone deserves to know, like, just tell me what's going on. I want to help.
And it's funny because it's so refreshing to see like you and other dentists in the industry working together in the sandbox to just, help the community and help these patients.
Exactly.
I wish it was all the way the same in real estate, because it's not. I'm like, there's enough business to go around. Like, on average, somebody knows like 12 realtors. Like, get over yourself,
Yeah.
And like I said in one of my others, like, not every client is meant to be yours, and I don't want them, you know?
Exactly.
So take them off my hands, you know? So
it's like we're here to all better our community. Like, we live in Buda, we love this community, and so it's just like anything that we can do to support and like build other people up. Like, you do it all the time. You like promote businesses that are, like, we love.
So I don't do anything out of the kindness of my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do something out of the kindness of your heart, I'm going to document it.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't have a heart, and I don't do anything out of the kindness of my heart.
All of this is ulterior motive.
1-star review.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
No, we want the place that we live to be incredible.
Yes.
And like, that's what you care about. That we care about that. Yeah, is that a good segue?
You know what else
too?
we want to have in our community is we want to have an ice cream store in our
I
community.
know. I'm so excited. How bad do you want one?
We want one pretty bad. Like, enough that we would probably bring one to the community ourselves.
Yes.
Maybe.
No.
Big.
Well,
please.
Since we're the dentist bering ice cream to Buda, I can do this now.
Yes. That is guaranteed business.
Yes, exactly.
But there is a big announcement that we promised you we would make on your show, and we can't say the name yet, but a very famous ice cream shop that is not Amy's.
Or
not Bluebell.
Not Bluebell.
It's called Ashley's Pop Shop.
There's tequila.
A pain in the tooth.
We'll soon be brought to Main Street on Buda.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, because it's so funny. We've been part of this community. We live here. We work here, and it's amazing because my grandpa grew up in small town Nebraska, and growing up, with him kind of raising me, it was always one of those things that was palpable. You could see they cared about each other. If somebody needed something, they would help each other out, and that's hard to find anymore, especially in today's digital era and the lack of connectivity from a in-person standpoint, right? And so we found that in Buda, and we're very happy to do it. Folks like Jeff with Mud Bugs, and Brooklyn, and
I was just at Brooklyn's today.
Totally, yeah.
Bottomless mimosas.
There seems to be a pattern here.
Yes, exactly.
This world is rough.
But it's amazing. And I'm on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and all those people care about the community.
They
do. So it's fun. So we'd always be walking around downtown, and there's all the great places, antique stores, Summer Moon, cool place to shop, Mercantile, exactly. Not a place to get ice cream on Main Street, right?
No.
Love Buda Soda Fountain, but it's across the street, and it's hard to get
across the railroad track.
Exactly.
It's not safe. Yeah.
And we bumped into our patients every now and then, I wish there was ice cream down here. So did we. And then finally we were like,
we need to bring ice cream.
What if we just made that happen?
Yep.
And then Jennifer Storm was like, hey, we've got somebody who's building a new building and might potentially be interested in putting an ice cream shop down there. And this whole thing just kind of unfolded. And it was Alex and I are we really doing this? And then this other opportunity kind of came across, and we're working on it right now. But it's why not?
Right.
Why not? And let's make it happen. And I was talking to the guy that we're working with, and he's like, well, it's hard to make money in the ice cream industry. I was like, hey, we have two goals. One is to bring ice cream to the community, and two is to get free ice cream for our kids on Sunday. If those two goals are...
It's make sure our kids have a job in high school. You get to run dental sterile, or you can scoop ice cream.
Which is
those
so
are two
freaking
choices.
funny. And the fact that you're bringing this up, because I'll never forget when I was talking to him in front of your guys' house one day, and he was talking about all these businesses, and I was like, oh, that would be perfect for Max to take over. He's like, I'm not raising no Nepo baby.
I
don't
work for...
Next going to have to borrow money to bury us, okay? Credit card company's going to be knocking at Max's door going,
where
your parents racked up a pretty hefty bill before.
No, but I mean, to have your first job at an ice cream parlor and whatnot.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, I have one of my friends, their kiddo, now she's in the Naval Academy, but one of her first jobs was at the Marble Slab right next to you and stuff. So she works in the ice cream shop there. So.
But we want to have one that's open late at night, after this. You want to go to dinner.
I know. I swear the world shuts down at 7:30 around here.
But it's I just feel Buda's growing so much. People like walking around after dinner. Go get an ice cream
especially
after dinner.
The summer.
Exactly.
If it's light out, I want it open.
Exactly. And just be able to go to the park in Buda and then walk around and get some ice cream. So the fact that it's on Main Street is going to be so fun.
And we're talking proper scoop ice cream, not froyo, not and nothing against froyo, but
not soft serve or any of that stuff.
It's not the same. You want the neighborhood kids in there.
I want all the toppings too.
We were talking about it earlier, right? Having the giant forearm because your first job was a ice cream shop.
Just somewhere a nice space,
all sticky and everything.
All
that thing. Just rip it.
It's like bowler's arm.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah.
You have to scoop with your other arm, or you
get lopsided.
Atrophy.
You end up with a Popeye arm, you know?
Well, we were talking about it earlier, but we went to learn about the ice cream industry, and one of the things that we did was try to learn how to scoop the perfect scoop of ice cream. And it is very hard. It is not. You would think it's easier than it is.
Well, and it all is about the ice cream scoop too, and then getting it wet and all the things and stuff. There's a whole art form to it. So
totally. So
when is this? Excited. When is it opening?
We're hoping December, January timeframe.
Yeah, so perfect for Christmas. Those calories don't count.
Exactly.
It's Texas. Everyone, we used to live in Alaska, and there was an ice cream shop there that would have a line out the door in the middle of winter. Because if there's good ice cream, people will go whenever. And
this is the best ice cream we've ever had.
This is the best ice cream we've ever had. So I'm super excited to bring it to Buda.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be so fun. And
there was an ice cream shop up in Northern California where we used to live, and Chad and I would go there. Probably 2 times a week. We'd have to drive an hour into town, and I'm we're going to Bomboniers. Yeah. And they had the best ice cream, and they were known for this lavender infused one and stuff. Yep. But of course, I did the coffee with the heath mixed into it, So
you need more caffeine.
There was nothing healthy about my scoop. So but I'm getting it. I'm going big.
Yep. No, and it's cool too because I feel like this is gonna put Buda on the map a little bit too. Like, there's not, I think people come in literally from Austin to come to Buda for this ice cream shop. So like, I'm really excited about it.
For sure. Well, and again, it's like there's so much cute stuff. It's just the main street has fulfilled all of its potential from when we first moved here, right? And like when it was just mud bugs, nothing else on Main Street really besides Summer Moon. And look, in 5 years now, like it is really
so fun to see what it'll be in 10 years. And like the Buda, the Chamber doing their studio podcasts and like their
absolutely. Have you seen the Hive that the EBC built? Like cool little stuff like that. It's like really making it a hub now. It's super neat to see.
Yeah. So, and it's funny. I've helped clients move here from out of state, and like when they tell me what they're looking for and stuff, I'm like, why don't you check out Buda? I think Buda is what you're thinking of. And like 9 out of 10 times, like, you nailed it. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for.
There's just nothing like it. I mean, just like that small town community feel. Like we know all the business. I don't know. It's just, I never expected how much we would love it until we moved here.
Even though the logo on the water tower looks like Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball.
Could that be the next?
The fact that they repainted it the same way, like not casting judgment, but like, oh, you're going to read the same thing.
You're doubling down.
Maybe we need a rebranding.
Like, put a wiener dog on it or something.
Literally, or make it look like a guy swinging on a tire, a kid, and not,
is Buda still it's the green whatever space
outdoor capital? Oh, outdoor capital of Texas.
Of Texas, not of the world.
A bit of a stretch, but whatever.
Aren't we a dark sky community now too, or something?
Yes, we are.
It's probably darker out where y'all are.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Nice. Oh yeah.
Interesting.
See, Kyle's known as like the pie capital when we got one pie shop.
Yeah. Why? It's so funny.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, just the Kyle capital of
How many roundabouts do we
conferences.
I think there's gonna be like 22 or 24.
24 roundabouts?
Yeah, the roundabout capital
of the world.
There's a whole map
of them. Like I said earlier, another left turn.
Don't get actually started on
I
roundabouts.
should just go in there and just start doing donuts in the roundabout. Like, y'all, this don't work. This don't work.
It's not a good idea.
How long have you been in Kyle?
We bought our house there in 10 years. 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Avery was just we bought it, and then that weekend I held Avery's first birthday. So I had that whole house unpacked, repainted, everything.
That was before the birthday, it was like
I had the whole house
staged.
unpacked in 24 hours because Chad's crazy family is like, we're coming. I'm like, what?
Excuse me? It was like our first Halloween party. Like there was no furniture at all in the house.
It was funny when we moved here when Liam was 5 months old, and so then his birthday, all the family's like, we're coming for Liam's first birthday. I called Chad at work. He works at the convention center. I was like, how do you feel about Disneyland? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, let's entertain them there because our house is not, and I don't want to entertain them for a week here because when they come, they take forever. They stay here forever. So his first birthday was at Disneyland and stuff. And so
That's awesome.
Now I'm like, let's just meet you somewhere. It's a lot easier.
Yes, you have your own hotel room.
Do you guys do birthday parties every year for the kids still?
No.
Okay, I know. We were thinking, I'm like, when do we stop the annual birthday party?
No, we did. We did
1, 5, 10, 20, and then you're done.
No, we did one. So we did their first, and it was a thing that Chad and I said from the very beginning, we're not going to do parties because a lot of what these parties have become is a lot of freaking money to entertain everybody else.
So expensive.
It's
yes.
Crazy. Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I much rather have that spent on them on some sort of memory. So we'll take a little trip. So all of them are summer birthdays.
Yep.
So Aiden, we're going to be in Florida, and we're talking about going to like the Texas beaches for Avery and Liam's birthday because they're a week apart. But I'm like, I much rather take that few $1,000s that's going to be on a birthday party for a couple people to bring, if they show up, some gifts and stuff, and then you got all this food left over. You got to clean your house prior, you got to clean your house after, or if you do it somewhere else, it's all this money. So, no, it was
That's
one.
a good idea. No, even this
friends
last
in
time.
Brooklyn. Do you remember Caitlin's second year, third year birthday?
It was her second birthday, but she was born March 25th of 2020, so she didn't get to have
COVID
like a
baby.
first birthday.
Second birthday. Anyway, Brooklyn family, well-off Brooklyn family, like house in the Hampton style Brooklyn family, and I have never seen a birthday party like this. So they had
like a wedding,
the entire rooftop.
It was just a very posh birthday party.
It was more than there was at least 80 people there, probably more than that.
And this 2-year-old is not going to remember none of it.
The cake was a custom cake, like Cake Boss style stuff.
My gosh.
And I think I don't remember. I didn't say her last name, so nobody will know. But it was Italian family. So,
That's
you know,
why.
it was like the envelopes,
That's
right?
why,
And
yeah.
the envelopes. And
Yeah.
I
Enough
can't
to,
remember
like-
what she said. It was like 20,000 that the 2-year-old netted out of that birthday party.
Yeah.
So.
But it cost him $100,000 to
Yeah.
grow.
And that'll give them 2 months of school paid for. Like, what do you? I mean,
Oh
Yeah,
my
true.
gosh.
True.
It's like
Yeah.
the,
that's a whole other thing.
The Sopranos.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like literally
Or
what
Real
it was. Like, it
Housewives
was
of
like
New
the whole,
Jersey.
Like,
Yeah.
it was-
Here's your envelope. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I'm excited about your ice cream
Yes,
shop.
we're super excited. And yeah, one of the flavors the proceeds will go to the outreach program.
Yep.
And yeah, we're just
One
like,
of the flavors? How cool.
Yeah, and I mean, not like, I know it sounds silly, but like I literally tell my kids, I'm like, I'd rather you have like ice cream or chocolate or like things that are
Yes.
gonna dissolve on your teeth. Like, do
candy
not
or-
eat
yeah.
fruit snacks or
Oh
like
my God,
fruit snacks and
I-
gummies and like that stuff.
I
is
gave
just so
Max his
Oh,
first
yeah.
taste of saltwater taffy the other day, and like it was like
Almost murdered
she
him.
walked in on me having an affair. Is she that like literally? That's the face that I would imagine.
Gave him
Like it was. She
She's
was
like daggers.
murderous. Like you gave him what?
What?
I wasn't prepared. It was an overreaction.
No.
Just to
She's
say
like,
the least.
I've seen the results.
Yeah.
And
I
of course,
see.
like, you compared that face and juxtaposed it with Max's face, and it was just like
so happy.
pure angelic bliss. Like
Yeah.
this is the most
sugar
amazing
into the
thing.
bloodstream. Oh my gosh.
It was,
yeah.
it was
And then he was like
totally
doing
worth it.
donuts in the
Yeah,
out in the front yard for
Yeah,
24
exactly.
hours
Like,
trying to wear
you
it
get
all.
to do bedtime tonight. No, I'm not anti-sugar. Well, I am anti-sugar, but yeah.
You're anti-saltwater taffy.
Saltwater
That is
ta- yeah,
for
the
sure.
sticky is just the worst. Like the kids will come into the office after they have fruit snacks. I literally can't even get them off. Like with
Yeah,
my
'cause they, like, get
professional
stuck in their
toothbrushing.
molars.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
usually like literally caked in there. Even raisins, like stuff like it's just like they stay stuck in your teeth forever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's usually we'll give kids a popsicle when they get done with an
Right.
extraction or something hard in the office. Or I'm like, ice cream's okay, but like the sticky stuff stay away from. And so
Yeah.
then they just like to come get an ice cream after an extraction.
Yeah. Here's a little voucher.
Yeah,
for that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like go
And who just buys one ice cream?
exactly. Yes, exactly. I didn't.
I'm on to what
You
you're
know
doing.
getting that waffle cone. You know you're buying that waffle cone.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah, we
upgrading
definitely,
it.
yeah, the smell of fresh waffle
Yeah.
cones.
You
Yeah,
bring in a
exactly.
coupon for the kid that got to sit in the dental chair,
Yes,
and then the
exactly.
parents want it, and
I
the
can't
sibling.
sit there and
Yep.
like watch
Yeah.
you eat an ice cream.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
heck no. Heck no. We
we're
got
really
onto that conversation on the first podcast how I'm obsessed with my Ninja Creami. And so I'm like
Yes.
You're
making
what?
like the Ninja Creami.
It's like an ice cream maker.
It takes like
Yeah.
any sort of like protein and turns it into ice cream.
And it's not like terrible, but you're just saying it's actually good because
It's
you bought the
legit
Ninja.
good.
Because you
Really?
put, like,
Yes.
Greek yogurt and fruit and
Yes,
make
you
it
can
actually
make sorbet,
like, yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
And so you make it and then you freeze it and then you pop it out of the freezer and you eat it like ice cream.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I could eat like the whole thing and it's
Yep.
like 25 grams of protein.
Yeah.
And I feel no
Wait,
guilt
because
about
you put
it.
protein powder in there.
Yes.
Okay.
So you take any protein
Have
shake.
you had it too?
No, but Father's Day's coming up.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
And
absolutely.
in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that digital tapping.
Yeah,
internet.
Yeah,
Cameras
where's
are
that
all on,
digital
yeah.
tap thing?
Yeah.
No, literally, you could take any ice cream, then you could add whatever toppings to it and stuff. So I'll make like a mint chocolate chip one. Legit, so good.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah.
Look at that. We don't need any more appliances.
Yeah, no. It's
Is
just-
that a
oh my
thing?
God,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh
there's
my
always a
God.
need for an appliance.
No, there's
If
not.
it simplifies
Yeah.
your life.
When we moved into the RV, we simplified our life for real, and we sold everything. We had like, I think Dutch oven, cast iron frying pan, and a couple of plates, right? And I was like, this
An
is
Instapot,
amazing. And guess
yeah.
what? It was all you needed.
Yeah.
That was all you needed. And I was like, maybe this will stick. Like maybe this minimalism will stick. We bought
Then
the big
he-
Texas house, and immediately I'm like,
We had a refrigerator that made like the bourbon ice cube balls.
well, that's cool. I agree with that purchase. Okay,
you
that's
need.
different.
That's like an
You need
essential
that.
item.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But no,
Every
like,
time I would host an open house, I was like, look at this refrigerator.
Yeah, exactly. Makes perfect ice cream.
Did it come with the house?
No.
no,
well,
we had to buy it, but it would be
No,
it
of
came with
course,
the house
like,
when we
no,
sold
the
it.
month
When you-
that we bought
yeah,
the
did you
house is
sell
like
it with the
dishwasher,
house?
Yeah.
fridge,
Yeah,
everything. You know,
yeah.
it's like that's always how it happens.
yeah,
Probably
yeah.
have to explain why we lived in an RV, but
Don't worry. There was a
It's
whole
like a
drug
thing.
period in our lives. And
Yeah.
we moved to Alaska. Yeah, lived in an RV for like 8 months. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when you were
Pretty
doing
cool,
your
yeah.
residency?
So I did, residency in Alaska. So we lived in Mansfield, Texas at the time, and I decided I was working as a general dentist for about 5 years and decided I want to go back to pediatric specialize. So we applied to programs all over the country and just like fell in love with this program in Alaska. And the idea of like living in Alaska for a couple of years was just like amazing and romantic to us. So yeah, we sold everything we owned, moved into a 400 square foot RV with our 2 100-pound dogs. And
They're so
yeah,
cute.
took like, they're just,
Before you
well,
get
they
too
loved
far, back
Alaska.
up and,
Yeah.
and tell everybody how you met.
Match.com.
Yeah, we met
Really?
Yeah, we were like before, like
there wasn't
nothing.
apps back then. It was like you had to log into your desktop and like.
Yep.
So I know what you're talking about.
2013.
Were you on
right?
Match.com?
Yeah.
No, Chad and I met on Hot or Not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't even know. That was pre-Match.com. I don't
Yes!
even know.
And I had no idea about it. Do you not know the story?
No, I did not know this actually.
So,
well, obviously, you
okay.
both thought you were hot. So this is.
So I had no idea about it. So I had a boyfriend at the time. I
Oh my
broke up with him. I
gosh,
moved him to South Carolina and ghosted him before ghosting was a thing. He thought I was going back. Joke's on him.
Yeah.
So I came back.
Hold on, so you moved him out there, and then you're like, I'm just gonna get my purse.
Yep.
That I left in.
And
Legit.
moved back.
Texas and-
Legit.
Wow,
Yes.
that's bold.
This tracks. I can see this happening.
Yes, so I came back, and then all of a sudden, it was like instant messenger days.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting
Like
at my
AOL
desk.
Instant
Yes!
Messenger, yeah.
Sitting at, and I think my, like, I forget, it was like Mustang Chick 84 or something was
Yes.
my
It
was
name.
your-
Because I had a Mustang. And so it was like a whole Fergie, music video. And so I'm
God.
sitting there, and
Yes, it really is.
Gosh,
so then my AOL Instant Messenger is lighting up, and they're like, "You look so cute," and I was like, "How can they see me? How can they see me? Like, what is happening right now?" And so my friend was like, "I got something to show you," and I was like, "What?" And so she pulls it up, and it was pictures of me and stuff.
She had registered
Yeah,
you.
and
Okay,
my likes were like, "I like long walks on the beach." I was like, "This doesn't even fucking sound like me,"
this
And
is
she's
not-
like,
yeah.
"Nobody's gonna know," and I was like, "I am not meeting somebody online. They're gonna say they're 20, they're 45. I'm not interested," So Chad was one of the people that messaged me, and I was like, we started as friends, and at the time, my grandmother was dying of cancer, so I was flying back and forth to LA, and then after a while, it was like 3 or 4 weeks, he's like, "Do you want to go on a date?" I was like meet in person?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, you take your car, I'll take mine,
Yeah.
so in case you're crazy, I can
Yes.
leave,
Mhm.
So we met.
Chad's like, I like her already.
Yeah, exactly.
So we go to dinner, and we didn't know that a girl that he was kind of dating, a guy that tried to date me, was there at the same time. So like my phone's blown up, like, "I see you with Rico Suave," and then he's
Rico
getting,
Suave.
he's like
Yeah,
getting
Chad.
texts like, "Who is she?" and stuff. I was like, "What is happening right now?"
That also dates
Yeah.
when this was. The fact
Yeah,
that it was
exactly.
a Rico
Rico
Suave
Suave.
reference. Like, now I know what year it was.
So like, and then we've been together ever since. So when we started dating, he was like, I think we've been together for 6 weeks. He's like, "Yeah, my plan is to go move up north to help take over my family restaurant and whatnot. Like, do you want to go with?"
The restaurant part of Chad. Yeah,
Yes. And he was like, "Do you want to go with?" And I was like, "Well, I really got nothing here. Why not?" So I went culture shock. It was like population 1,500, not a stoplight. I came from a city, And so then I started like surveying the area. I was like, "No wonder you wanted me up here because
Yes.
your options are very limited."
Zero. Yeah.
So yeah, we met on
Smart
Hot.
man.
Yep.
We met on Hot
Yep.
or Not. So you met on Match.com.
That's
Yeah,
so wild.
that's so I didn't even know. I think it was Match. What was the only and like eHarmony were like the only things.
eHarmony
that I
wouldn't let me
remember.
on.
Yeah,
That's
eHarmony
another
literally
story.
rejected Tim's profile. And they're like,
There's
"We
no
have
harmony about you.
Yeah, we have no matches.
Did you fail the background check to get an account?
That's like literally what it was. They make you fill out like this personality profile,
Yeah.
and it probably shouldn't be saying this.
No, it would.
But yeah, at the end, it just ends it honestly. And at the end, it's like, hey, at eHarmony, we try to match people on like a deep psychological level. And,
And you've been
this
too
time,
honest with us.
we don't feel that you would match any of us.
Can I go back and re-answer those? I will be honest with you. I'll lie.
Try a new email.
Should have seen the results of this before I committed. No. But yeah, I just moved to Denver for my first residency. Tim was in his MBA program, and I didn't know anyone in Denver when I moved up there, and so I was like, why not? Like, I'll
You meet the only
Yeah, and there was,
conservative
like-
in Denver.
yeah.
Not back then. That was
No,
before
Denver was
the
still
the wave.
But
yeah.
it was like the first year marijuana was legal in Denver, so
Yeah.
like, you'd go out to meet people, and like it's just like
Yep.
all,
I was
it
the
like,
only non-pot
Yeah, he was
smoker.
like-
Yeah.
exactly.
And
I was
I
like,
liked wine and I had a dog.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
No,
like,
his
check,
match
check,
out
check,
profile was like him
He
with a
used
glass
the
of
dog
wine
to
and
get
his
you
Oh
in?
my God!
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just like-
Yeah.
Any man aged 25 years old who has a golden retriever
Yeah.
is using that dog.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Amen, brother.
Yes, it worked, and but the same thing. I was just like, are you, like you were just afraid, like online
Yes.
dating. no one like online dated back then. Really,
Yes.
You know? And so, but yeah, we met and just like hit it off immediately and like moved in together after like 3 months.
3 months.
And
Yep,
moved in
that
all of our
was
friends,
us.
Were,
Yep.
we're just very conservative. Like I don't know, take things slow kind of people. And so all of our friends were like, "Are you sure about this?" We're like, "Yeah, we're sure."
How long did you guys
then,
date before you guys got married?
It was like a year and a half before we got engaged, and then like about 2 years before
Yeah.
we got married.
But it was, I mean, again, like once we decided to move in, we already knew that was like this is it.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, it took. I mean, Chad and I got married 7 years later after we started. It took me that long to see he was trainable.
Yeah, exactly. Still to be determined.
Still work in
Yeah,
progress.
exactly.
Sometimes I have 4 children.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You wouldn't want it any other way. And you know
No,
it.
no. I keep him on his toes. He knows I'm a lot, so you know.
Well, yeah. What year wedding anniversary? Like, how long have you guys been married now?
2010 we got
Okay,
married.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So met in 03.
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing 10 years
Yeah.
next year. Which
Yeah,
is,
that's
I'm
right.
excited.
Yeah, we've been married for 15 years and together 22 years. So
Wow, that's incredible.
yeah, over half my life. Gosh
Yeah,
dang, when the
no,
heck
that's-
that? No, I'm actually 35.
Yeah,
exactly.
Over half your life. You don't have to specify. Like,
Yeah. I was a child bride. No.
Yeah, exactly. No, like my grandmother just passed away, but she and my grandfather were married 66 years.
That
like,
is
could
so
They
cool.
met when they were 15. I'm like,
Yeah.
could you imagine spending like 85% of your life
Yeah.
with someone? I don't know, just so incredible to think like, just like
Yeah.
just like that. You don't hear about that much.
Yeah,
anymore.
my in-laws, they've been together forever. I think they got together like when my mother-in-law was like 19 years old. And so, yeah, my parents got divorced and my dad ended up with his like high school sweetheart. So it was like full circle and stuff. And we joke because my sister now has this boyfriend. It's the first time we've ever met one of her boyfriends. And ever.
Older or younger?
He's old. My
No, your
sister's
sister.
younger.
Yeah.
He's older than me. So he says to Chad and I, he's like, so Chad, you know, did you have like this issue with Ashley about like being super affectionate and whatnot? Like she's just not. And Chad just starts laughing. He's like, yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
I love how he uses a positive and then counters with a negative, not like how she's not affectionate. Like you know how like
share this thing.
some people are super affectionate and then like your wife is the exact opposite. Like, that's one way of saying it.
Is something missing?
He goes, and Chad's like, she's gotten better through the years, especially the kids have softened her. And I was like, yeah, no, I would like not hug anybody, nothing. And it was funny because
Well,
when
I think you guys get along for a reason.
Exactly.
Like,
So when
don't
I
touch me while we're
yes,
sleeping.
and it's exactly. I have like a weighted blanket, all the things. We did this whole talk about this, where I become a taquito, and you don't want to be on this side because you're gonna get cooked.
Yeah,
But no, it's like so. He was like, "Is she always been this way?" I was like, "No, it's gotten better through the years, you know." And it was like I realized it when I started dating Chad, and he had this amazing man in his life. His name was Chuckawalla. It's his best friend's dad. He unfortunately passed, and he was Italian, Catholic, and so he's always hugging on me and kissing on me and stuff. He's like, "Does it bother you that I hug on you?" And I was like, "Oh shit, is that obvious?"
Am I flinching?
And so I try to like soften up. Well, now I hug people, but I'm like, yeah, I don't ever really show my heart. It's literally deep, 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 deep in there, you know. So yeah,
It's real healthy. The
Yes.
psychologists
We're
say
slowly digging it out. These are like therapy sessions for us. So.
that's actually what this really is.
Exactly. This is an intervention.
Appreciate you
Like-
paying us to be here, by the way.
But it's you're not super.
No,
Yes.
the same one is just like we talk. I think it's just like how are you brought up?
Yes,
right? It's like,
it
did you
totally
have a
is.
family that like
Yep.
hugged and and that's like and I think like knowing that about ourselves too, like I should try and be affectionate with our kids and show that that's like normal and like just like I think it was that generation too. Just like I feel like there people were not affectionate, like parents weren't affectionate together.
Yeah, I don't ever remember my parents like hugging each other, or kissing each other, so I didn't see that.
Exactly.
So, but like Chad's family is completely opposite. I mean, his poor mom, she unfortunately backed up and over like a man's Harley Davidson, which is like killing their baby, right? And so she literally goes over and just hugs him like, "I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Paula, you like just murdered his kid, you know?"
Here's a hug.
Yeah, so like she just like does it, you know, that's just her. And so but my parents are not super affectionate and stuff, and like, you know, I never saw they weren't affectionate towards us kids, and so like I strive to love on my kids, kiss on them all the time and stuff, tell them how much I love them and whatnot. And so, but yeah, you know, Chad's form of affection is like touch my butt or something, you know, and it's like, get out of here, you know, get your grab and go, you know.
This is
if it's your mood booster for the day, whatever.
Exactly.
So you left school and then got an RV and moved to Alaska?
Yeah, well, finished the residency, and then Tim actually got a job in Dallas, and so we moved to Dallas in 2016, and so I worked as a general dentist for a few years. Then that was kind of when we started having these conversations. I would like come home from work, and I'm like, I feel like this could be, you know, done better, or like I just feel like there's something that, I don't know, I wanted to start my own practice, but I didn't want to do the business part of it, and we just would talk all the time about it, like what would it look like if we did something together. And so
I was traveling, 150 days a year too, and had a friend who had made it, you know, to the COO level, and we were his children's godparents, and we'd have dinner with him on Sunday night, and we'd leave and he'd leave too, and he'd fly out at Sunday and come back Friday every week, and with an 8 and 10-year-old at home,
That's
and we
horrible,
kind of internalized and saw just like. And he did it for his family. Like, he was doing it for them and providing a life for them, but like at the same time.
But he was not around for his family.
And we're like, he was a great father, but you know, it was one of those things like, do we want that for our kids? And so like, okay, we need to do something different. But at the same time, like,
with the path that we were on, you would have been
100%
CEO of one of these companies, and then that would have been our life. And, you know, so we're like, okay, what would it look like? And so then that's when we applied to residencies, and then decided on Alaska. We just loved the idea of it, and sold, like, had an estate sale, which is like the most hilarious thing to do while you're still alive. And because like, so we like sat in the RV.
Like painted a picture that someone died.
Yes,
people are like, so sad they were so young.
Unfortunate,
because like our pictures are up.
I'm right here.
Because we were hiding in the RV, right?
They were like watching out the window. My still favorite is like this 80-year-old guy. Tim had like a Top Gun like Halloween costume jacket, and he like comes out with a jacket on, like walking out.
Yeah, the 80-year-old guy was really happy about that jacket.
These old ladies like going through your nail polish and stuff. It was like the weirdest thing. So yeah, but we had a estate sale, sold everything, moved into the RV, took like 2 months off, and like moved up to Alaska slowly in the RV, and then we bought this like old rundown cabin that we spent a full year renovating and turning into like this beautiful, I think we showed pictures, like beautiful space. And so we like lived in the RV while the house was getting renovated, and and then just spent 2 years in Alaska, just like loving, like, you know, it's just seeing the most beautiful stuff in the world. Like it's just like the most beautiful.
It's like on my bucket list to go.
That's still our kind of retirement goal, is one day we'll be like snowbirds in like Texas in the winter, Alaska in the summer, and and so
could you see Russia?
Probably.
You could not see Russia. Yeah, that was. That's. But I tell you what, I loved Alaska because all the stereotypes were true. Like
the zombies.
Somebody first asked me like, oh, you know, like bears up there. I was like, actually, like the second week we were there, I was working out in the yard and a helicopter flew over. And then another one flew over, and I was like, I wonder what happened. And like a mile down the road, a guy got mauled and killed by a grizzly bear.
Oh my gosh!
Then the search party, who went out looking for him, also got mauled by the same grizzly.
What are the odds?
This is like Alaska, and then like
you can't fight a bear.
You're talking to people about it, and I'm like gauging, you know, the locals, and I'm like, hey, like you hear about that? And they're like, yeah, it was sad, but. Like he shouldn't have been there. Like he was
off trail by himself without a shotgun.
Like, it's just very pragmatic. Look.
Well, that's like Into the Wild, that movie.
Yeah.
Where a guy drove out there in an RV and just.
Yeah.
Well, and there's no sympathy for that guy up there. That like. Yeah.
Like we told you not to do it.
Exactly.
And you did it. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think of Alaska. I think of the movie The Proposal, Sandra Bullock ran.
Oh,
yeah. Which is like the hawk taking the dog, you know.
So sad. I've watched that movie.
You've watched it?
Yeah, I watched it with you.
From the fire pit to the windows, to the walls.
No, eagles are huge, but it was so sad. We get up there and we're like, where do we go see a bald eagle? And they're like, go to the dump. Like,
really?
They're just like trash birds out there. Like these gorgeous bald eagles just like hang out at the dump and like just eat all the trash.
I wonder how many eagles they have per capita there.
A lot, I would assume.
Probably.
73.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
That's not a real statistic.
Yeah.
Totally made it up.
I mean, so did you ever have any encounters with bears?
Oh yeah, like grizzly bear like walked in front of my car. Like we.
Bremer ran after a black bear.
Yeah, black bears all the time.
Rambo pulled off after it started to run away. Bremer kept chasing it. Like,
he's like, bet.
Well, that's one-on-one, Bremer, and this is not a good situation.
Win this. Yeah.
He ran after one, and it's like your instinct is to go after him, but then at the same time, like. then you have a dead dog and a dead human, right?
Yes.
So
But actually, more people die of moose attacks in Alaska because moose are like really aggressive and mean, and so like, and yeah, our dogs, of course, like charged a mama moose and her baby moose, and so like that. But it's just like literally just to like be sitting drinking your coffee inside, and you just like a moose walks by your front door, you know. Cool. And so it's just really so.
Did
cool
you do a lot of fishing when you were there?
you know, I'm not a big fisherman, but when I was there, like it's not fishing up there, it's catching.
Yeah.
Like, and you'd go on the Kenai River, catch 9 salmon, and it would be midnight, and then of course the clock would turn to 12:01, and it's a new day, so you have a new limit.
Oh.
So and you could fish all the way through all night.
So you outside the system
because it was still light out. Right?
Yeah.
And you cut this salmon open, and you realize like the stuff that we buy. I'm not railing on like farm-raised food, but the color was so deep red.
Yeah.
It's just like ruby.
Not pink or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like a tangerine color.
Yeah. It was and just so good. And like the shrimp they would do like shrimp.
Shrimp and
See, you traded shrimp for crafish.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Exactly.
We traded shrimp for mud bugs. Yep.
Fresh, Alaskan shrimp.
Yeah. Same, but different. You know, that kind of deal.
So what made you guys pick Buda?
The
giant.
Reality is
I'm kind of a
spreadsheet.
data nerd. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we had like 6 or 7 states that we were looking at when it came to where we wanted to start our first dental practice, and you know, obviously population growth, competition in the area, all that stuff. And really, Dallas would have been still the best place to go back and open it from purely a business standpoint. But we've been there, loved our neighbors. We didn't like everything around it was just very, you know, Applebee's, Chili's, right?
Yeah, more like
on the border, really spicy. If you really wanted some authentic, like ethnic cuisine on the border,
on the border.
And
I forgot about that place.
And so we always came down to Buda when we lived up there, and we're like, oh, let's
come to Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg, not to Buda, correct? To Fredericksburg, and we're like, hey, let's look at Austin. So we looked at Austin, and really it was, we say we lucked out because Buda, it made sense from an economic and financial standpoint, and from a demographic standpoint, is why we came here originally, and quickly learned that like we had just like stumbled into this great community, and like, just completely lucked out, like meeting folks like you, and meeting folks, you know, it was, we never expected this to happen, and now like bought our second house here, and like this is we planted the flag, so it's been really cool.
I loved it. And it's great. Like I said, it's a great community. Everybody likes to work together and like play in the sandbox together. And you know, I wish
most everybody.
Most everybody. You got to have a little friction in a small town, otherwise it wouldn't be a small town.
Exactly.
You got to have competition. We'll just call it competition.
Friendly competition.
Exactly.
Friendly competition. Yeah. So, is there any other plans? I mean, you just keep planning. So, is there an end?
Imagine. I'm sure there'll be something else next time we talk. Good. No, just I mean,
you should come up with like a wine. You know that.
We've always we love wine, and of course now it's a little bit.
There's like our driveway, you know, it's like really long.
Yeah.
So there's like the perfect spot to plant some like grapes.
Yes.
So we're like, I don't know what we do with them.
We always say we'll
make
really terrible wine, and we'll have our friends over and make them drink that, and we'll have like a bottle of like really nice Bremer over there, like that we'll be drinking.
This,
Suckers.
These idiots pretending they like our wine.
How much do they like us?
Exactly. We know you would be like, what is this?
What is this crap? Call this wine? Is this like grape juice?
Not good. No, I think that's all.
No plans in the
for
future,
now, other than just chugging along, get all this,
continue
and,
to run the business and expand, and absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you guys have done like a phenomenal job of like putting your stamp here in the area and just helping out the community. I always see you guys part of like community events like in Sunfield and stuff like that, and you know, your outreach programs and stuff. Like you guys do a lot of positive things, and so you guys should feel really proud.
Thank you.
And you're raising two of the cutest little humans.
Because we want them to be in a place that's wonderful too. You know? I feel like that's what all like a small community like this is all about. Like it's all make it better together. So that's like we love being a Buda.
Well, it's great. Like we were talking about earlier. Like it's great to be in a place where it's like, you know that somebody's gonna tell your father.
Yeah.
What you did. Like they saw you being a ruffian. Like there's that like community sense of like.
Which I'm glad Buda still has it because Kyle's lost it.
No, but
so
Buda still has it.
Buda still has it.
Yeah.
With even the growth, they still have it. Like you could still go to like Mudbugs and run into people you know. You go to Nate's, you run into people you know. So you still have that small town feel, even though that has some growth behind it and stuff. So. But yeah, you guys have accomplished amazing things. I'm so excited to be a part of this journey. Yes. If you ever need like a tooth fairy to go into like elementary schools,
we
I'll
do
sign
actually.
in.
Yeah, you are
we do that,
hired.
but if you want to, now how many margaritas do you need before you do?
Drinks before.
Listen, kids.
If you get Chad in a tooth fairy costume, it'll be like
Oh
that.
my God.
Oh my God!
No,
Like
he needs
the
to wear.
Rock-
We
the
had
Rock
like a
movie.
tooth cowboy outfit that he should.
Oh
that would
yeah.
be great.
That would
Chad,
be-
you've been
Yes.
volunteered.
Yes.
That would be great. Yes,
Well,
let's
I'll
do
just
it.
voluntold him. That's
Yeah.
how it's done,
exactly.
you know?
Put this on.
Yes, exactly. So if you ever need any assistance in that,
or the
it's
kids
well-
are big enough
that's the
now,
last time
actually.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go in a
exactly.
public school,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
leave my stamp as a fairy or a tooth costume.
Oh, I forgot you did the fairy thing. Like I think I saw you like right after that. I'm like, you did what? Yeah.
Yep.
It was a fairy.
Yep.
Well, how about you? I
What?
ask you the same question. Big plans.
No, survival.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we're going on vacation. I'm busy in real estate. The kids will finish school on Tuesday with homeschooling.
Yay.
So
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's almost summer. It's
yeah.
just so, crazy.
So my mom comes into town for 2 weeks and stuff to get her grandma love. So I'm like, spoil them rotten. So but yeah, I know Chad is busy with the convention center about to be demolished. So I'm so tired of hearing those meetings. So yeah, they're about to tear that down, and then he'll be telecommuting from home for like 2 days a week. So wish him luck.
Yeah, with 3 kids, there's no way. I've tried and just actually it's not the negative, it's not the noise for me. It was like I want to be with. Like if I hear them
you get
giggling, I'm
distracted.
like, I want to be with them. Like, what are they giggling about?
Yep.
Right? That's been the toughest part for me. So,
So he'll be telecommuting twice a week, and his honeydew list will get real long. So.
Yeah. While you're on a break,
he's gonna be
You can do that,
chomping
right?
at the bit to go
he's
back.
Like, we're co-working spaces. Can I be a part of? Yeah.
Chad, I hope you know we always pray for you.
Yeah.
We do. Yes. And I stand in solidarity with you, Chad.
I know people in that tell him
Endless.
often, you do realize you deal with a lot. I am a lot. I'm proud of it.
He knew.
Yeah. I know when we did our father-daughter dance, my dad's like, no take-backs. Like, she's yours.
Godspeed.
He does like one of these things.
And he's like, and word for the wise, do not try and put her in a box. It will backfire. So I don't cook. I'm not expected to do the laundry. In fact, I F it up on a regular basis.
On purpose,
so it's job security.
That's a good tactic.
Yes.
She sends me to the
That's
grocery
what
store.
he
I buy
does every
coconut.
time I send him to the grocery store. I'm like, I've specifically still come back with like Doritos and a coconut. I was like,
I did my best, babe. I just couldn't do it.
and a pack of gum.
Yep. Nope.
Like,
I literally will throw like unzipped things and just everything in there. And it's so funny. I'll be in the family room working, and all I hear is, and I was like, what? He's like, nothing. I'm like, choose your
thanks for
battles.
doing my laundry.
Choose your battles.
If nothing else, I hope this podcast, people are watching it and going, "Oh, good, we're normal."
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
This is universal.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is
Chad's
what,
like, what's that verse on patience again?
Yeah, exactly.
this is what life is supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming. You
for
guys
having
are a
us.
pleasure to have. We'll have to
sure.
have it again, especially when you
love that.
open your ice cream shop.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
We could do like a taste test.
Yeah, we should do.
We should do an on-site.
in-house, Yeah,
Right?
Ooh.
Like-
on-site. Yeah.
We could do on-site. Can we travel?
You can travel a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not taking
Yeah.
all this with me, obviously.
No.
Cameras
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
But like we did in the office. Yeah, we can do.
Yeah.
One there. Taste
Yeah.
testers.
Yes.
Great
Taste
opening.
test. I could taste my life away as long as it has no nuts because I'm
Yeah.
allergic.
Oh, I didn't.
And
know
some
that.
people.
Peanuts are
All of them
All-
except almonds.
really.
All of them
That's
except
weird.
almonds.
See, I'm not a big like nuts and ice cream or
Yeah.
desserts guy anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, all of them except almonds. So I always say I'm allergic to nuts and some people. So
And some people, I was thinking that's what you said.
Well, actually, so poll real quick. Favorite ice cream flavor?
That's tough because I love ice cream, and I love a lot of different ice creams.
Okay.
As a kid, it was Rocky Road and mint chocolate chip, and chocolate, or double chocolate.
So let me
or
ask you, how
double
about this
chocolate
way?
chocolate chip.
all the chocolate.
chocolate,
Yeah.
Chocolate
It's so
chip.
Liam.
How about this? All right, so one ice cream you can eat every day for the rest of your life, and then one ice cream is your final scoop of ice cream
Before you die?
before you die.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Can we count gelato?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
chocolate gelato with the little cookie crumbles in the bottom. You know that container that you can get at H-E-B?
Oh, yeah. It adds a little texture to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But daily, that's tough. Probably Rocky Road.
Okay.
Because it's got a little bit of, nuts, marshmallow.
Interesting.
Chocolate.
You wouldn't get bored with it too easy. Got a couple things going on for it.
Do I get any whipped cream?
No. See, now this is what happens. You push it like now you get no ice cream.
The peanut butter cup is good.
Yeah.
Because I like Reese's peanut butter and chocolate.
Liam's alley.
That would probably be my final scoop.
Yep.
What would be yours?
I'm the one asking the questions here.
Yeah.
There's too many to choose.
There's literally I didn't even think about it.
31 flavors is long gone.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I would say cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough for every day, because that's just like it doesn't get any more classic than that.
Yeah.
And then for my last one, like something caramel, a little bit of crunch in there, and chocolate base would say.
Snickers ice cream.
Yeah, like very close to that road. I know you. Yeah.
She learns something new about you every day.
Right?
That'd be the last. No,
What would you?
No, same. Well, yeah, cookie dough I think is like that'd be hard to beat, but no, just like the best vanilla with Reese's on top would be.
There you go.
Yeah,
I think I would do coffee flavored every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Any time of day.
Yeah, and then I think my final, I'm dying, would be like Jamocha almond fudge.
Interesting.
Really,
Very
really
cool.
good.
All right. Yep. Like
It's got the crunch.
breaks the spoon when you.
Yep.
I totally forgot about that flavor.
Yep. You're gonna change it now?
No, but I'm going to get some.
I know. It's like my mouth is literally
Yeah.
watering right now. It's
I'm gonna
time to
have a
go get
blast
ice cream,
from the past.
folks.
It's time to get ice cream and nobody's open.
Yeah, exactly. Shucks.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
For
super
sure.
excited.
I love ice cream. I have it almost every night.
Yes.
I get that from my grandfather.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do
He
that.
made it to
actually.
91 and he ate ice cream every night.
Mine too.
That's my dad's that way. He eats ice cream every night. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yep.
So
Well,
there you
I'm
go. Well, you guys
excited
are
for
our
it.
target demographic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Come buy our pints, please. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're gonna, I'm so
Yeah.
excited for that. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for that.
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
taste
really-
all of
Yeah.
them, almost all of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're excited.
Well, I'm excited for the next adventures.
Thank
And
you.
are you
For
gonna
sure.
expand more ice cream shops? No.
thank
No. This is
not a
this is
chain.
not
One
a-
ice
No
cream
shame.
shop. Yeah, just-
One and done.
Yes. Yeah. Just a dental. Yeah. Thank you for having us. and
Of
we love
course. It
all
was
the
a
Definitely.
pleasure
Thank you for
having you.
running
and
everything for sure.
We'll do
Yeah.
it again.
Yes.
We'll do it again.
Definitely.
Thanks for the wine.
Absolutely.
Fredericksburg.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Goal.
There are 30,000 estimated bald eagles in Alaska.
Oh.
And there's 2 million people? Is that what it is, or is it 1.2?
In Alaska?
Yeah.
741,000.
Wow.
147.
Way less. So yeah, 50% of the population is in Anchorage.
Look, that's the same number. What is that? A palindrome? Same number for.
Oh yeah, 741,147. Nobody have a baby, or die.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
So then, how many? So what is that? It's 30,000. What's 30,000 into 741? 25? Yeah. 25 people per bald eagle. One bald eagle for every 25.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's
like,
nuts.
Think about how many bald eagles that is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're big. They stand.
They're big. It's like
Like,
they're
when
Yeah,
they're
I
standing there this
saw
tall.
a video
Person.
of them, one on the side of the road, and it had like its little babies and
Yeah.
stuff, and it was huge. It was like this big.
Yeah. Bald eagle eggs, delicious, by the way.
24.7. You are a data nerd. 24.7.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
He is very good at math.
He's very good at math. Yeah.
I'm like,